Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome to this special evening, at least on my side of the world. I'm going to start. Okay, this decade did not welcome us positively. It started with natural disasters from the Taal volcano eruption in Philippines to the Australia's deadly bushfires to a flood hit Indonesia. Before the dust even settles for natural disasters, the COVID-19 pandemic has already spread from China to all over the world, including Africa. Now, within 2 months, over 1.6 million were infected and over 95,000 people have died. Shortages of masks, gloves, and respirators, including hospital facilities, failed to cope with this pandemic. If it is not contained, we will witness more fatalities since healthcare are insufficient to cope. For the first time, we witness social distancing as mandated by law, and many countries have locked down their borders. World economies are coming to a standstill. Now, we have finally discovered how interlinked every countries are as a result of rapid globalization in the past few centuries. Are international trades and dependencies to other countries still effective in another pandemic? Now, consumer spending will hit an all-time low. This is bleak, this is depressing, okay? A global unemployment apocalypse has already begun. Statistics around the world has predicted that 1/3 of the world will be unemployed by the next quarter if the pandemic still continues. In the past 3 weeks, 16 million Americans have already filed for unemployment benefits. Banks will fall and government will be in debt when more businesses implode. You know, a recession is on the horizon and a global depression is going to be inevitable. Now, are you guys depressed? Are you guys depressed? I am surely not. I am a positive person who sees an opportunity in these numbers. Now, network marketing has traditionally been a job security backup in these depressing times. You know, Singapore Airlines has been one of the most profitable airlines in the world. For the second time in the airline history, it has not only cut the pay of all the grounded crews, but officially gave them permission to do part-time jobs. The first time it happened was in 2003 during the SARS outbreak. It is no longer unprecedented, and it is charting a way for more suffering conglomerates to deal with their grounded employees. Now, like I said, I am an optimistic person and I see opportunity in crisis. If you can see what I see, then you know where to look when you're recruiting. Do you know how many times I've been asked, how do I see Emery recovering after the lockdown and crisis? My answer is simple. When the world is dealing with heavy unemployment, then Emery is actually at the right place and right time. Why? Because we are a networking company and we are an income provider. I mean, how would you offer to help someone who just lost their job? Hey, would you like to try network marketing just to get yourself going? You guys get what I'm saying? So the most successful leaders, they see the opportunities in every difficulty rather than the difficulty in every opportunity. Even Brian Tracy quoted, "The true test of leadership is how well you function in a crisis." Now, networkers are not just leaders. They are in fact entrepreneur leaders. And this comes with a really different leadership skill sets. Chris Roebuck, 2004, defined leadership, entrepreneur leadership, as the ability to organize a group of people to achieve a common goal, innovate to grab opportunities, taking personal responsibilities, and managing change. Why do you need to be an entrepreneur leader now more than ever? Because we live in a rapidly fast-changing world and we need to be agile. We need to anticipate the future respond to unforeseeable circumstances, and adapt to change, especially during challenging times like this. Timothy Butler, in his research for a Harvard Business Review, also mentioned the same thing: the ability to thrive in uncertainty, a passionate desire to author and own projects, and he added a third: unique skills at persuasion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may not be the most creative, but you can be the most curious, a curious seeker of adventure, learning, and seeking opportunity. You need to be open to new experiences. You need to be good in persuading your business partners with you to go on a thrilling journey to the end of the rainbow to find the pot of gold. Now, imagine persuading someone to go Disneyland with you. Will you be describing the technical aspects of the ride? Or will you be describing the fun, magical experiences before they part with the $100 for a ticket? Leadership skills are a continuous learning process. It keeps evolving with times and circumstances. What you think you know, or the same formulas that you have applied to get you to where you are today, may no longer work anymore. Times are changing so fast, and your leadership skills needs to be upgraded and to change according to times. Now, do you know that at every phase of our children's life, we learn to be a parent again? They are growing, their mindsets and their attitude, the circumstances, their environment all change. So are even our downlines or even our own staff. We can't have that same motivational or inspirational talk we have with them when they're just starting out. As Michael Scott once said, the day we stop learning is the day we die. Things will change because priorities change. Or you can let things change, but your priorities remains the same. You can continue to prioritize on luxuries when you lost your job. Or you can change priorities to saving instead. And when you prioritize saving money, then things will change according to the new direction you take. Now, with this pandemic, world leaders have now discovered how vulnerable we are. We now know that it doesn't take a nuclear bomb to wipe humanity to oblivion. All it takes is an airborne virus to do the job more effectively without destroying civilization structures. Questions that countries' leaders should ask themselves right now are whether their medical facilities are sufficient to treat a larger portion of their citizens without relying on external help, who are actually in shortages themselves. In their next budget allocation, will they divert more taxpayer money to equip hospitals, or will they still be equipping their military instead? Being vulnerable is a wake-up call for all the world leaders and even for us, an epiphany. We have become so vulnerable that we need to change now. For the rest of the population, a new awareness will rise, and that is health is more important than anything else. The past century has seen the world compromising their health for wealth. But this pandemic has taught us that wealth is immaterial when the economy is at a lockdown. And even money will not buy you a bed in an overcrowded hospital. It has taught us that we need to keep our body immunity strong at all times, and that the very young and the aged needs to keep it even stronger. This new awareness will even question a person's logic in spending on luxuries. I mean, your $5,000 Louis Vuitton handbag will still be in a lockup inside your cabinet during a lockdown. Emery will and must be ready to tap on this new awareness for health. You don't even need to try that hard today. People will understand how important it is now. I am talking about the opportunity rather than looking at the crisis of the pandemic. You see, the new world is not about robots running the world and enslaving us, like a scene from the Terminator. It is but different priorities. The fourth action may take a backseat for the world to reorganize, to re-strategize its priorities. What's the point of self-driving cars when we are isolated in a movement control order? Would designing a cheap and more effective respirator be better instead today? Welcome to the new decade with a new set of eyes and mindset. Don't hurl abuse and curse and speculate conspiracy theories on what's going on. I know there are a lot of rumors about saying that the virus has been designed by China or even in America. But we are not here to make that kind of judgment. Okay? With new eyes and a new mindset, only we are able to grasp opportunities from the problems facing the world today. I call it striving in chaos. Now, to welcome the new world, we need to quit our old mindsets, our old ways of understanding and doing things. But the problem is that people are not prone to quitting their old ways. Here are 3 reasons why. The first is the social stigma that quitters are for losers. How many times have you heard that since you were young? Winners never quit. This actually prevented many from not even quitting when the odds are against them. Now, the second is called the sunk cost. Sunk cost is basically the time or money that you have invested on a project or anything. So it is not economically viable to quit after the investment is made. It is also known as the Concorde fallacy. I mean, those who are my age, you will remember the Concorde. The Concorde is actually the fastest plane on Earth, traveling twice the speed of sound at 1,354 miles per hour. That is 6 times the average speed of a Ferrari, which travels at 200 miles per hour. Now, in 1969, it has a development cost of almost 1.6 billion Great British pounds. At that time, it was hailed as an engineering marvel and a flight of the future. But you know what happened? It was retired on April 10, 2003 by British Airways and Air France. Reasons? Low passenger numbers, rising maintenance costs, low confidence from a recent crash in Paris in July 2000, and the 9/11 attacks in the year 2001. So, the Concorde fallacy is the idea that you should continue to spend money on a project or money effort that already put it down. I believe this applies to many aspects of our life. Okay? Now, what's the third one? The third is the concrete cost over opportunity cost. People tend to focus on the concrete cost of investing into something and lost an opportunity elsewhere. For instance, you will find it a loss if you are going to give up a year of your life to take up an online course for, let's say, $10,000. You will ask yourself, I could have done so much with that money and time lost, correct? So, I am sure most of you can relate to the above, to the times when people you know from a different networking company refuse to join you despite them not performing exactly well in the other company, correct? It seems like they're holding on to something. It's either they feel sad over the sunk cost or holding it to it with dear life, or they are just reluctant to invest into another opportunity like in Emery, which is a concrete cost. So, ladies and gentlemen, instead of going on an attack on how Emery is better than them or how their company sucks, practice empathy and spend more time explaining the opportunity cost instead. Okay? On this note about recruiting, I want to quote you Khalil Gibran, who once said, to understand the heart and mind of a person, look not at that he has already achieved, but at what he aspires to. Evaluate your current position and understand why we need to quit certain ways to enter a new world. Ask yourself, what is holding you back? Today, we no longer have any choice but to quit. It is no longer quitting is for the loser. The old ways and systems are falling apart. Social distancing is making it challenging for face-to-face network marketing. Internet and 5G is pushing people to go online and make connections. We must be prepared to move everything online, from Zoom meetings to signing up distributors online. By the way, Nigerians, I don't think 5G is going to cause COVID-19. So please don't go around tearing down those expensive 5G transmitters, okay? There are already many scientific studies to say that it is not going to cause COVID-19. Now, sunk cost in accounting is like depreciation cost. It will depreciate over a course of time, which has already served you well. It is now time to let go and invest in upgrading your skills and do things differently. So, in short, how do you know when you should quit something? To me, there are always two reasons. Number one, if you are stuck in a project or a relationship or a mindset that isn't working anymore. Number two, when the opportunity cost outweighs the sunk cost. Okay? So, the question remains, how do we determine whether an opportunity cost outweighs the sunk cost? How do we trust that we can invest in an opportunity cost? Simple. I am guided by the proven future. Let me share this with you, ladies and gentlemen. Over the course of my life, I have many regrets. One of them is that I have failed to work on wild ideas 20 years ago, which today I witnessed that it was already done by others and they became superbly rich. If only I could turn back the clock, I would have done things differently. Grabs onto the opportunity. Now, Jack Ma, he didn't know anything about computers before he embarked on building Alibaba. But what he saw in America about the internet inspired him. He saw the future. But he was living in a pre-open door, not friendly business China. He could tell himself that China is still living in the past. Or he could actually learn about the internet and build the future. He was guided by what he saw in the proven future. He invested. He dwelled into it full time and he persevered. He eventually built a multi-billion-dollar company. And you know what? He didn't even invent the internet. Now, what I'm saying is, most of you do not need to be a Jack Ma of Africa. You can simply become one of the successful, rich online merchants that have put their faith in the future that Jack Ma has built. Just like Emery, we came to Africa with a state-of-the-art system that allows everyone to conduct their business online, including cashless payment, stock deliveries, even real-time bonuses. Do you know we are at least 1 or 2 generations ahead of our competitors in terms of investment into an IT system just like this? Now, are we ahead of our time, or do you still believe we are living in the past? When competition are trying to catch up, we are pulling away further. We are not investing on it now during the crisis. We already invested 3 years ago. You know what? Emery China is ahead in sophisticated technological adoption. And us, Africa and Middle East, we already have the software ready, waiting to be deployed. You know what? As I am speaking now, Emery China is actually pulling away further with Immer Select. It is a new platform. But for now, let me just call it the Alibaba of MLM systems. Okay? I won't be revealing too much for now because I'm waiting for the final prototype to be tweaked in China so that I will bring it to Africa and the Middle East market. You know, the world today needs a new utopia. a hope for our future that comes in the right opportunity. As I have shared in one of my posts, if you guys follow, COVID-19 is an opportunity for the world to create a new utopia. It is our hope this lifetime to raise awareness and create a better healthcare and preventions for our next generations. If not, we are living the nightmare of a dystopian future today. Hope is the biggest reason why we are alive. Hope is where we seek the right opportunity and act on it. Hope is knowing when to change or when to quit. Hope is about giving our children a better future. After this seminar, I can only pray that if you want to become a better leader and be successful, make that decision now. People who depend on you, your family, your community, even your downlines, needs to know that, because that is the future of utopia that you are going to give them. They deserve an answer to what kind of life that you're giving them when you decide now. It is no longer a self-declaration or New Year resolution about losing weight or to quit smoking. It is about the life that you're not only giving yourself, but to your family and your next generation. Once you make that important decision, please, no more excuses. Do you know, all of us are always an expert in people's life. I can tell from my neighbor, I can tell my cousins, I can tell anyone on the streets why they are successful, why they are not. We can tell without blinking an eye on why someone is successful or not even successful. But you know what? We cannot provide an explanation to our own, except for excuses. You all get me? We can only provide excuses to ourselves when we do not achieve that success in any way. But I can always tell why my neighbor is more successful than me. So, ladies and gentlemen, from tonight onwards, please, no more excuses. If not, opportunity pass you again and again. Everybody can be really successful if they really want it. A different place and life awaits you. All it takes is that one magical decision that you need to make. It is all in the mind, will, and spirit. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am Waiyen. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay simple. God bless you all. Thank you very much.